Hello everyone, welcome to our video lesson on the skeleton. I'm Баранбаева К.Б, the teacher of English, Higher Medical College. Today we'll explore the fascinating structure of the human skeleton, its components and functions. The composition of the skeleton. The skeleton is the framework of the human body, composed of bones. In adults, the skeleton consists of over 200 bones, providing support, protection, and movement. This is a skull. The skull is the upper part of the skeleton. As you know, the skull is divided into cranial and facial parts, totaling 26 bones. These bones are parietal bone, frontal bone, sphenoid bone, ethmoid bone, temporal bone, occipital bone, maxillary bone, and mandible. These bones protect the brain and house the sensory organs, such as the eyes and ears. These are the bones of the trunk. The trunk includes the spinal column or spine and the chest. Chest is from the anterior side. The spine is made up of cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, sacral vertebrae, and the coccyx, supporting the body and protecting the spinal cord. What about the structure of a vertebrae? A vertebra is a small bone formed by the body and arches, collectively forming the spinal column. Each vertebra is essential for maintaining posture and facilitating movement. Number of vertebrae. In adults, there are typically 32 or 34 vertebrae in the spine. These include 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic vertebrae, 5 lumbar vertebrae, 5 sacral vertebrae, and up to 5 coccygeal vertebrae. Bones of the chest. The chest or thorax is made up of the thoracic cage and the thoracic wall. Rib cage consists of 24 ribs, the costal cartilages, and the sternum. The ribs are attached to the 12 thoracic vertebrae at the back. The thoracic cage provides protection to the lung and the heart. The thoracic cavity is located in the chest as a space that contains organs, nerves, and blood vessels. The ribs form the thoracic cage through the 12 pairs of ribs. Ribs are flat, narrow, and curved in shape. The ribs are numbered from 1 to 12, corresponding to the vertebrae present in the back, and anteriorly the ribs are attached to the sternum through the costal cartilages. The ribs are categorized into 3 types according to the attachment to the sternum: true ribs, false ribs, and floating ribs. True ribs. These are the first 7 ribs. They are connected directly to the sternum through costal cartilage. And false ribs. They are the ribs number 8 to 10, which are indirectly connected to the sternum through shared costal cartilage. The 11th and the 12th ribs are considered floating ribs as they do not attach to the sternum. And the sternum, it's a flat, long bone which is present in the center of the chest. And it is also called breastbone. It's T-shaped. Sternum is part of the thoracic cage and helps protect the lungs, heart, and vessels. The sternum is divided into 3 parts. It's manubrium, body, and xiphoid process. Connections between bones. The bones of the skeleton are connected together by joints, cartilages, and ligaments. These structures provide stability and facilitate movement, ensuring the skeleton functions effectively. Ligaments connect bone to bone, and tendon connects muscle to bone. There are 2 types of extremities: the upper extremities and lower extremities. The upper extremities are joined to the trunk by shoulder girdle. The bones of the upper extremities, clavicle, scapula, humerus, bones of forearm, radius and ulna, and bones of hand, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. The lower extremities are joined to the trunk by the pelvic girdle. The bones of the lower extremities are hip bone, femur, patella, fibula, tibia, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. Today, we have explored the intricate structure of the human skeleton, from the bones of the skull to the vertebrae of the spine and the ribs of the chest. Remember to review the provided exercises to reinforce your understanding. Thank you for joining us and happy learning.